In ancient Israel, there was a country with the most idols. Maybe brothers and sisters don't know which country had the most idols. It was Babylon that had the most idols. Of course, there is no very clear revelation. But it should be Babylon that had the most idols. Let's see what Babylon's idols were like. God said Babylon will collapse. Their idols will be shattered. What was ancient Babylon like? Let's read about it. A revelation concerning the seashore wilderness. This refers to a prophecy about Babylon. It says an enemy comes from the wilderness, from a dreadful place. Like a violent storm sweeping across the southern land. I was shown a cruel vision. Those who practice deceit still do so. The destroyers still destroy. Elam, raise up, Medes. Cease, I will put an end to all their lamentations. Therefore, I am in agony. Pain grips me. I feel like a woman in labor. My feet are sore, I bend down and cannot hear. I am terrified but cannot see clearly. Fear is overwhelming me. The beloved dusk makes me stand. They set a feast. Spread carpets. Eat and drink. The leaders get up and anoint shields with oil. This refers to the hanging faction. The Medes and Elamites advance to attack a country, which is Babylon. Babylon will be attacked. Then the Most High Lord Yahweh says, Go. Set up watchmen. And have them report whatever they see. They see cavalry coming in ranks. Also camels. And donkey teams. They pay close attention. Later, the watchman shouted like a lion. Lord, I have been on guard daily. Standing at my watchtower every month. Look, here comes. A cavalry, ranks of cavalry. One cavalry after another. Then he said Babylon has fallen. Babylon has collapsed. All the carved idols have been smashed. So I said, my people are like beaten threshed grain. Like the drum in the threshing floor. This is what I heard from the Lord Almighty, the God of Israel. This passage foretells the destruction of Babylon. Before Babylon was destroyed, the prophet saw in advance, seeing camel troops and donkey teams coming in ranks. In ancient warfare, there were not only war horses, but also camels. Camels were used in battle, and donkey teams were also used on the battlefield. That means, the Babylonian Empire would be destroyed by the Medes, and the Elamites, and of course, also the Persians. Before the destruction, God had already shown this to the prophet Isaiah. So all nations and peoples come attacking at will. Now Brother Sibba continues to say, for example, if a country attacks another country, or one nation attacks another nation, who causes this? As we said earlier, at that time Babylon was the most powerful nation. In Isaiah's time, it was the strongest country. All nations feared Babylon upon hearing of it. But God predicted that it would be destroyed by the Medes, Elamites, and of course, the Persians. And the destruction was foretold even at Babylon's peak power. So today we see, the country with the strongest military power might be the United States. It could also be Russia. But God has prophesied that Russia will split. Just as Brother Shibor has said many times. And Russia will face internal turmoil, it dividing into a southern and northern region. Whose will is that? It is all according to God's will. Now, as we know, China's head of state is Xi Jinping. So, for the next term, can this leader continue? Many people say he can. But the Lord, as communicated by Brother Shibor, said, he can no longer continue. This term marks the end of his political career. Because not long ago, it appears that on a day last month, that evening, Brother Shibor heard a voice from the void saying, this current head of state, namely China's Xi Jinping, has seen his political career effectively ended. It is now coming to an end. At most, his term will simply expire. Even if he wanted to continue, he wouldn't be able to. So, whose will exalts and debases? It is all according to God's will. Then, who is behind the domestic unrest, and the national conflicts? That domestic turmoil, and that national war, all are in accordance with God's will. And when Babylon was at its most powerful, God prophesied that its idols would be shattered. Babylon would be broken apart like a shattered frame, implying its impending destruction. And we have also prophesied, as Brother Shibor has repeatedly foretold, that within 17 years all nations and peoples will be destroyed. Only one nation will remain, the nation of Israel. May it be restored to the Father. Come, Lord, Amen.